All right, so before we play our next piece, I'd like to take a moment to give out some awards. I love to do this every spring. I do this all the springs that I've taught through all the years that I've taught. I always look forward to it. And I have to tell you that this year was much harder than last in choosing these awards because so many people and so many of these students have done an amazing job. This particular 8th grade group, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I do believe it's worth mentioning again, is one of the most improved groups of students I've ever worked with. From day one, the first time I heard them as 7th graders, to where they are now is remarkable. So I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with them, and I will sincerely miss seeing you guys around school, seeing you in class, and having you all as students. So I want to, before I even give out awards to individuals, I want to thank all of you. So we're going to be giving out for this group 4 awards. And the first award I'm going to give out is to the most improved student. So the student I feel has really come the furthest. This particular student is an exemplary student across the board. Not just musically, but academically, athletically. I mean, everything that I think you can wish for in a kid. And he's been a pleasure to teach. I remember when I first had him as a 7th grader, he would tell me, and he played clarinet at the time, but he would tell me like, oh, I'm never going to be able to play that note. That's just not going to happen. And now he plays 2 instruments, and he plays them unbelievably well. And it's been a pleasure to teach him, and I will certainly miss him. So it is my pleasure to give the Most Improved Award for 8th grade band to Jack Rothman. The next award I'm calling the Excellence in Music Award, and this award is inspired by, or my inspiration for picking the person for this award is really just a kid that comes into class every day and I feel like plays more than just the notes on the page, but plays musically, because doing this is so much more than just playing the right notes. It takes an unbelievable amount of cooperation to have happen, make the music happen. And I think this student is an integral part of our ensemble. And he's also made an incredible amount of improvement over the years that I've taught him. So it is my pleasure to give the Excellence in Music Award for the 8th grade band to Matthew Torrey. I have absolutely gotten my steps in today. There's no doubt about it. I might have gotten steps for about 2 days, and we still have time to go. So the next 2 awards are Directors Awards. And Directors Awards are students that I feel go above and beyond and contribute significantly, not only to this ensemble, but to this program. These particular students that I'm gonna give this award to are 2 of the most talented students I've ever seen over the years. There's just not enough good things to say. I just don't have, there's just so many good things to say about these kids. It has been an honor to teach them, and I will sincerely miss them, but Mr. Williams at the high school is about to be very happy in September that these 2 kids are gonna be in his band, because they're extraordinary kids. So it is my pleasure to give the Directors Awards, and the 2 Directors Awards for the 8th grade band to Cooper Grimm and Clara Sprague. And then there's also a number of students this year that participated in the NYSSMA Solo Festival, and with that comes some medals. And we had kids that did an excellent job at the NYSSMA Solo Festival and participated and did an amazing job. So I'd like to acknowledge them and give them their medals really quickly before we play our last tune for you all. So first up would be Ella Bielchini. And you've heard the name, but I also want to mention about this particular student. This particular student qualified for the New York State Band Directors Association All-State Middle School Honor Band. And that includes everybody from all over the state. I mean, an incredible achievement. Round of applause for sure. What an awesome achievement. You should be super proud. And as an 8th grader is already going to NYSSMA at a level 6. There is only 6 levels. I mean, it's just an unbelievable level of maturity and musicianship. So this one is for Clara Sprague. You know what? This is mobile. We're gonna do this. Look at this. We're moving. There it is. All right. I figured it out. I did it. I know. So the next one I'm going to give is an award. She also participated in NYSSMA without any kind of lessons, plays the hardest instrument that's, I think, in the band, or one of the tougher instruments, just to find the pitch. And it has been a pleasure to teach this student. I'm going to sincerely miss her as well. So this one goes to Anna Karinski. This student is another 8th grader, obviously, and maybe one of the most naturally talented musicians I've encountered over the past 11 years of teaching. Just naturally talented. You sometimes meet kids that just have it. You know, they can feel the beat, they understand the pulse of the music, and they play with a maturity beyond their years. It's been a pleasure to listen to her and to get to know her. I will miss hearing her play tremendously. This one goes to Chloe Lex. And then this next one, you've heard the name. Our tuba player who holds it down, Cooper Grimm, also participated in the meeting. This student has been in the program with me now for 2 years, and she's made tremendous improvement this year. I really encouraged her to do NYSSMA, and I think she did a great job. It's really a big learning experience, and she did awesome. And she's been such a pleasure to have in class for 2 years. So this one goes to Samantha Itzla. Next up is a unique kid. He's a unique kid, but he's, again, extremely talented, and I know I've told him certainly many times. I think he plays music wonderfully, and in my book, there's nothing embarrassing about that. That's pretty awesome. So it is my pleasure to give this award to Logan McCormick. And then, I think for the first time this year, this student, and again you heard his name as well, but he participated and did an incredible job, stayed after school, played a really hard piece, a level 3, again, put in some really good work. This one is for Matthew Torrey. There are 2 students whom I gave them their medals early because that's just what I do. Sometimes I just kind of, I don't know, I messed it up a little bit, but I do want to acknowledge these students because they're amazing. In the back, CJ Vieira. CJ went on mallets. So he plays a lot of the mallet instruments for us, and he's a indispensable percussionist, and I would say percussionist because he doesn't just play the snare drum. Everybody wants to be a drummer. He's a musician, and I think that's beautiful. Yeah, that's awesome. It's been a pleasure to teach you, buddy. Congrats. And then, where's he at? Oh, there he is. Nate the Great, Nate Strauss as well. He did NYSSMA, I gave him his medal. Nate the Great does it all. Nate, he legitimately does it all. He's playing trumpet for us on this next piece. But he did a level 6 snare drum solo and got a 99 out of 100. I mean, there's only 6 levels. Unbelievable. So way to go. He got his medal. Good medal. So, to the parents of all these 8th grade students, I just want to take a moment and thank you for encouraging your kids to be a part of the program here. It has been a pleasure to see them develop. That doesn't mean every moment was the greatest moment in the world, but every moment to me was worth it, because that's how you grow and that's how you get better. And to watch these kids grow, not just as musicians, but as people, it has been a pleasure. So, thank you so much. We hope you enjoy our last piece. It's a piece that's near and dear to my heart. It's a piece entitled Forever. I grew up on Long Island. I went to school on Long Island in a town called Mount Sinai. It's kind of a small town that's out east, kind of by Coram. And the director of music for my program was a guy by the name of Steve Mantone, and my high school band director was a guy by the name of Brian Mancuda. And unfortunately, it's kind of a sad story, but Mr. Mantone, or Steve Mantone, his son, who was, probably about 4 or 5 years younger than me, when he went to college, he was a baritone player. He was a stellar baritone player. He played great, and unfortunately passed away in a tragic car accident driving home from Ithaca College. And this piece was written to commemorate his life, and it was premiered by my band director, Brian Mancuda, as the conductor, who is quite possibly the greatest teacher I ever had. Probably the reason I'm standing in front of you all today. I was so compelled to do this because he was amazing. So we hope you enjoy our rendition of Forever. It's a very soft piece, but it ends pretty epically, and we hope you enjoy it. I've enjoyed working on it with them all. So, thank you.